Alright guys, welcome to another video. It's a little cold outside, so I am bundled up as much as I can be, but decided to take Bluey out, stretch her legs a little bit. Came to a trail I'm very familiar with, and then took a turn I've never done before. Ended up going a little bit more extreme than I planned on doing. So yeah, I've never taken Bluey out that hard, so that was a nice test of what we're going to talk about today. So today we're really just going to talk about the bumper. Also, people are shooting the second I pulled my camera out, so we're gonna work around it. If you see weird jump cuts, it's because someone shot in the middle of my talking. So today we're talking about Coastal Offroad, not just the bumper, but the company, the process of getting everything to me from the point of me going online, ordering it, to getting it delivered to my fabricator, for him doing it, to go to my bumper, and then the work I had to do. So before we start this video, guys, I did want to kind of make a solid point to say I'm not sponsored by Coastal Offroad. Coastal Offroad is not paying me for what I'm about to say. They didn't send this to me for free. Although, Coastal Offroads, if you're listening, I'm open to sponsorships from you. I love your guys' stuff, and I love you. Okay, let's move forward. So I want to start at the beginning. The process of me finding Coastal Offroad, reaching out to them, and then ordering it, and how that process started and how it felt throughout that process. So starting at the top, I found Coastal Offroad by pure accident. Someone in the GX470 group posted their front bumper, and I fell in love. That still to this day is my favorite front bumper I've seen. The Victory 4x4 is close, but the Coastal Offroad one really is everything I want. So I fell in love with their front bumper, but I knew I needed a rear bumper first for my tire and for my water system I was going to do. So I went to the rear bumper system, and turns out it's my favorite. So once I realized that I was going to go with this one, I went online and I kind of just looked at it. They were having a glitch when I tried to order where everything was only in Canadian because they were out of BC, and I couldn't get it to go to USD. I reached out to them and they answered right away. They were very, very, very great with responding to those questions. And he's like, oh, it's fixed. And it sounds like he fixed it just for me. I know he didn't, but that's how it felt, and it made me feel good. So I really like, that's a huge thing for customer service for me, is if I reach out to someone and say, hey, this is broken, and they say, oh yeah, we know, that'll get fixed one day, right? Like, that's not as great. But if I reach out and they go, we fixed it, and it feels like they did it for me, even though they didn't, obviously, but it does feel good. It's a good feeling for customer service, so that's good on them. So I ordered it, and I was expecting it to take, like, you know, a month, like what everything else does whenever you order it for your truck. So I ordered it, and I reached out to them right away, and I said, hey, I just ordered this. Is it possible I can get the instructions to send to my fabricator so he has an idea what he's working with? And so they did that plus some. So they actually sent me all the instructions, and then they gave me a bunch of tips. They said, hey, you know, remove your rear bumper, make sure you deliver your truck as empty as possible to your fabricator so they'll charge you extra. So I was already going to do that, but that's huge. I mean, if someone just brought their truck into a fabricator with nothing removed, they'd have to do everything. They'd have to cut the bumper, do all this extra work. So they would charge for that, obviously. And so it was really nice that they not only did what I asked them to do, was send me the instructions, but they also went above and beyond and went over, you know, what it actually entails and what I should do. So that was huge. That's when I was like, okay, I'm glad I went with Coastal Offroads. Okay, so moving on. So once I ordered it and I shipped it directly to my fabricator's house. So he took care of it. This was his first time ever doing the Coastal Offroad bumper. He doesn't even do trucks. He does a lot of like, you know, drift cars and race cars and those kind of deals. He doesn't really deal with trucks and bumpers and things like that. So it was very unique. He was a friend of a friend, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust this guy. And he charged me almost little to nothing. And I was kind of sketched out, and I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just, you know, kind of covering his own butt. So halfway into this, he's sending me updates as he's going, and it looks incredible. It looks so good. He's doing just an incredible job the entire time. So I was blown away. I was just wow. And then he gets to a point where he goes, hey, I've used over 40 feet of bead on this. I think I can't finish it for the price we agreed on. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I completely agree. So I gave him some more money to finish it. And with the work he did, it was just, I had no problem doing that. I would have paid twice as much, so tell him that. But he did an amazing job. So once the bumper was done, we mounted it. We tested everything looked good. So we mounted it without any coating. This was in Arizona, so I really could have left it without coating for like a year. It would have been fine. but obviously I wanted to paint it. So I brought it home right away, and I was thinking about powder coating. My pops has some connections with some powder coating things. Decided not to go that route. I've heard stories of powder coating not really being worth it, and if it scratches, you have to paint it anyways. It's not like it's anodized or anything like that. And so I just decided, cool, I'm just gonna paint it myself. And I'll drop the paint that I use below. It's just Rust-Oleum, the bed liner paint, and it worked amazing. It took a lot more cans than I thought, so I primered it first, and then I went over with cans, and it did an amazing job. I wish I would have spent more time on this. I kind of was in a hurry because I had the bumper sitting in my front yard, and I didn't want it to get stolen. It was great until I moved to Washington. And there's a lot of rain in Washington, and so I wish I would have spent a bit more time painting it. I'm probably, once we move into our new house, I'm probably going to take the bumper off and reseal the whole thing, and get rid of some of the rust that's already there, just to be safe. I really don't want to deal with my bumper cracking one day when I need it to perform. So let's talk about the things I don't like, because everything so far has been great. Honestly, the experience from buying it to getting it fabricated to getting it mounted, painted, was just amazing. I have no gripes. It was really easy to mount too. Once it was put together, it was really easy to mount. I had to do it by myself because at the time, Buddy was gonna come over, he couldn't come over, but I was already at that step of I need to put this bumper on. And so I ended up using my high lift jack and my bottle jack to lift it up, because it is very heavy and I'm very small. And so that's what I had to do in order to get it on. So luckily I was able to get it on, and it was fine. But yeah, everything was great for so far. So let's talk about some of the things after living with this bumper for as long as I have, and camping with it, wheeling with it, everything I do with it, except one thing, which I'll show you right here. This thing right here is the most obnoxious thing. I wish, so they have this drop down lever, this drop down, I don't even know you call it, plug, I don't know what you call these. They have these little drop down things, and it seals the tire swing out part, and it's great. It works really, really good for that. But I wish for the water or the fuel storage, I wish it had one that would lock wide open. The reason for it is, as you can see, I'm actually parked on the hill right now. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to use my drawers, to use my fridge, just because of this. So what I'm gonna do is, once I move into the new house, I'm going to grind away all the paint that I put on right there, and I'm actually gonna weld that same piece that's on the other one. I'm gonna see if I can order it from them, or I know there's a few other companies that make those, and just drill a hole so I can just, swing it closed, or swing it open and then lock it, just so when I'm on a hill, because most of the times I'm camping or I need to get back there, I'm not on, perfectly level surface. As far as the tire swing out, that's not really a problem because you can lock the doors in the GX. So I can push the door all the way open and lock it open. It holds the tire just fine, so it's really not a huge issue. And that's the only thing that I don't love about this bumper. Everything else has been great. I actually ordered the Hitch receiver a little bit after, because I really didn't plan on doing anything with it until I kind of was like, oh yeah, I'm moving, I need to tow. And so Coastal Offroad will say this 1,000 times. They say that we cannot rate that Hitch for towing, it's just for recovery. It's really just because they're not doing the welding, so they can't do their own testing. So I ordered it, and I gave it to the same fabricator, and I was just like, hey, I need you to make this as strong as possible. And so he did. He TIG welded it. He didn't grind anything down. He just left all the welds there, and it looks amazing. First off, he did a great job with that. Again, I'll drop his Instagram below because he's incredible. The Hitch just fine. I towed across the country with a pretty big U-Haul, and it did just fine. Coastal Offroad, if you're watching this, just know that I didn't actually do that, and I'm lying to everybody. This bumper is one of my favorite things I've done to Bluey, and I can't wait to get their front bumper. I might get their rock guards, not too sure. I've heard their skid plates are a pain in the ass, but I probably won't be the one welding it, so I'll probably still get them. But yeah, huge fan of Coastal Offroad. Their products are amazing, but the reason I'll go back to them, as much as I like the Victory 4x4 front bumper, I might even like it a little bit better as built, like looks-wise, aesthetic-wise. The customer service really just blew me away. That's how you win me as a customer, is the customer service. They're very active on Instagram. They're a lot of fun. They always post really cool stuff, and they treat their customers with the utmost respect. Maybe it's because they're Canadian, I don't know, but love them to death. So huge fan. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna go jump in the truck because it is freezing. I can't feel my legs. And yeah, all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Also, guys, I feel like I can't go without showing you guys this view, because this view is just incredible. So enjoy this.